We're here in Palmyra, New York. There's a big pageant going on at the Hill Cumorah, and we're standing outside here where Joseph Smith's Book of Mormon was printed, and we have someone here that we want to talk to. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Hi, I'm Jim DeFerio. I'm from Syracuse. I try to make it to Palmyra and Hill Cumorah. We kind of put our own spin to it. We call it Hell Cumorah. I try to do that every year during the Mormon pageant. And the reason why I do it is because I have a love for God, a love for truth, and I really do have a love for people. I used to be deceived and going astray. I was involved in a cult. It's called Roman Catholicism. And when I was 16, I became an atheist. And I actually destroyed a Bible when I was 19 years old. And I went on a quest when I was around 20. I was 20. I was 20 years old in Southern California. I went on a quest because some of my friends were getting into Buddhism and Hinduism. Some were talking about Jesus Christ like it was real. I never heard that in Roman Catholicism before. And I went on a quest, and I eventually came to faith in Christ. I looked at the evidence, and there's evidence for faith. Faith is based on evidence. You don't check your brains in at the door to become a Christian. I've had Mormons tell me in Salt Lake City, we don't care about the evidence. We have faith, you have evidence. I said, no, you don't have faith, because faith is based on evidence. Jesus, when he was resurrected and showed himself to his disciples, he didn't do that to destroy their faith. It wasn't like, oh, Jesus, I had faith until you showed yourself after your resurrection to me. Now you destroyed my faith. No, he did that to bolster their faith. There's evidence and substance to faith, like Hebrews chapter 1 says. Chapter 11, verse 1 says. So I come here and I want to share evidence and Bible with Mormons, because they are filled with lies and they're going astray. They have another Jesus whose brother is Lucifer, Satan, and they have in their theology, it's a polytheistic belief. There's millions of gods, and they are taught that they are God in embryo, and that they will inhabit a planet one day and populate that planet with a harem of women. This is what they're told. You know, 2 Peter chapter 2, I believe it is, talks about those who false teachers will come, alluring through the lusts of the flesh and lewdness. And this is how Joe Smith started his religion, through the lusts of the flesh and lewdness, promising people wealth, promising people a harem of women, and using the Old Testament, some of the Old Testament kings like King David and King Solomon as an example. Well, you can have many women. But I always tell the Mormons, no, from the beginning it was not so. Genesis 2:24, Matthew chapter 19 verses 4 through 6, Mark chapter 10 verses 6 through 9, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 31, and 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2. One man and one woman. And Deuteronomy 17:17 says that kings were not to multiply wives to themselves. So Solomon and David were in direct disobedience to this. Well, it used to be in the Doctrine and Covenants, chapter 132, section 132, that polygamy, or more accurately, polygyny, one man with many women, was supposed to be part of the doctrine of salvation. That's been a limit struck down. Now it's spiritual polygyny. And so I'm here to counter all these lies, all this false doctrine that conflicts with the Bible and draws people from the truth into these lies. They say that you can go through the broad way and it'll take you to the terrestrial heaven. But Jesus said, you go through the broad way, that wide gate, it takes you to, leads you to destruction. So I'm here to share the Bible, share truth, share love with people. I show my love by warning them, by sharing the truth with them, and being out here all day in the hot sun, when I could be home with my wife right now.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Let me see what the sign says here.